close the door just in case there's any background noise. It's so crowded out there. All right. So my name is Ian Perler. I don't know if you guys know me or not, see me around, but I run a team. It's myself. I have 2 agents on my team, and we have a full-time admin. And my whole business is basically based on having fun. At least I think it is. I try to host a lot of parties and events and do fun things for clients throughout the years. And the majority of my business comes from repeat and referral clients. You know, I invite them to stuff, they invite their friends, they bring their friends, and I've built a network of people that way. And the video went away, but I'm gonna bring it back this time. Let's see. Here we go. And I'm frozen in time. Yeah, happy to kind of like make this as interactive as you guys want it to be. I've done events that were 5, 6, 7 people, like very small and intimate, to like 50, 60 people events. And the prices vary, you know, and there's easy ways, for you to, I don't know what's up in the studio, but there's definitely easy ways for you to have events and have parties that don't have to be cost prohibitive. And so the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is it can be overwhelming because you want it to be perfect, like married or like you always want your wedding day to be perfect and you plan everything to a T and something always goes wrong and it's not perfect. And so I've learned through doing many events, like the first one was overwhelming because I wanted it to be absolutely perfect and this is gonna drive me nuts if the video keeps going away. But none of them are ever perfect. There's always something that comes up. There's always weather or traffic or an accident or, you know, the venue has an issue or something. But putting a date on the calendar and inviting people is usually like, they're like, okay, now I gotta figure it out. Right. And so I've learned, you know, think about what you wanna do. You want to do like the easiest one I've ever done, and it's probably the least expensive, is Fairmount Flavors, which is on Fairmount Ave and like Corinthian right by Eastern State Penn. I did like an ice cream thing. It was hot, and I was like, so 2 months out, I mailed little postcards that said like, come get an ice cream on me, here's your ticket for 1 free ice cream. Everyone shows up, and it was from like 3 to 6. And I stood outside, and clients came up, and they handed me the thing, and I told the cashier there with me, and they basically just had a tab for me. And people would come up, they would order ice cream, they would eat their ice cream for 5 minutes and hang out with me, or it was actually a nice day, they would go for a walk in Fairmount or whatever. And then that was it. And so like they came, they got an ice cream. It was an easy way for me to get people to hang out and see them. I want to say I maybe spent $200 on ice cream.
Oh, really? Yourself? On a party?
Yeah. So I mean, so we had a good amount of people show up. And it was like $200. So you don't have to spend a ton of money. If you want, you can have like a title company or a mortgage company or a home inspector pay for half of it.
Okay.
And you get 2 people to pay for half of it, or
okay.
3 people or whatever. I always like felt bad not paying for at least a little bit. Some people have like their everything sponsored, some people don't. This is insane. And so it's completely up to you how you want to do it and what your budget is. So set your budget, figure it out, and then do it that way. So that was always a good one. That just basically would like look at the calendar. All right, I'm going to do July 15th from 3 to 5. I would call the place and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Is that okay? We're just going to open up a tab. You know, and most people want business, so they say sure, and you just show up and you do it, right? Super easy to set up, like, and this time of year doing like an ice cream thing is really easy.
You had the Perler come to you, or you went to the?
I went and stood outside the ice cream. Yeah, the way that they usually set up, it's like a window.
Okay.
It's like on the street and there's a window, and so I just basically stood next to the window and my client showed up and I was like, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. I'm so happy you came for an ice cream. Like, just tell them that you're with me and order whatever you want. And like, most people just got like a basic cone for $30. So I did have a couple of people get like the $20 banana sundae that was like this big. But like, I didn't really care. I mean, at the end of the day, you're there to like be there for your clients,
Yeah.
right?
Did they sign anything in paper or you just say something? I mean, you need at least for the like contact information.
Well, yeah, so they're all like old clients, so I have all their.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You just rewarded them like.
Yeah,
all the friends.
yeah, I just invited them, yeah, so it was all like past clients, vendors I work with, so I invited like my home inspector, title companies. The plumber I use, like all those people I invite to, yeah, so I just invite all of them, yeah, and this is insane.
They brought their kids or they playing.
Yeah, some people brought kids, some people rode their bikes there, some people just showed up by themselves, got 2 ice creams to go, and like some people were there for a minute, and some people were there for 10 minutes. So that one's usually easy this time of year, on like a not big budget. The second one that I've done a lot of that people like is at a brewery. This video is so crazy. There's a million breweries in Philly. I've done one at Yards, I've done Love City before. You can just call them and the easiest thing, like from a price perspective that I found, is, the video does not like me. I break videos. From a price perspective, the easiest thing that I found is like just opening up a tab. Just open up a tab and like say beer's on me and like get a couple pictures of beer. And then like order pizza or whatever food they have. That's generally the least expensive way to do it.
Right.
If you're gonna like get a private room or like get a table that's like assigned to you. They generally want like a $500 fee or a $300 fee or two just for like the table. And so like, it's nice to have a private room, it's nice to make it like elegant, but it also makes it way more expensive, and I've noticed like clients don't care. Like they just are coming to hang out and grab a beer and chat with people. So like, when you like post up at a table with a bunch of people, you grab like 2 or 3 tables, you have beer put out, like other people that are in the venue will come to you and you can like chat with them, and it's just a nice interactive way to do it, and people bring their friends and all that. So, breweries are good, again, like. And I have like a format to it, which I can go over, but putting something on the calendar like a month and a half to 2 months out, so you know when it's gonna be. And then like working backwards for invites is kind of easy. So I usually try to plan my events like two months to a month and a half out. And then I generally like work backwards and like try to get the invite out at least 3 to 4 weeks before. That way people have time to like put it in their calendar and plan. And that also gives you time, because the main reason for doing events, in my mind, and at least how it's always worked for my business, has been it's the outreach, right? So you're contacting all of your clients, right? So like our database has, I don't know, let's say we have 400 clients, right? We're contacting 400 people multiple times to invite them to the party, right? And because some people aren't gonna respond. I've invited clients for 5 years to events and I haven't heard from them once. And then they'll randomly call me and be like, hey, I can make this one, right? Like they just are like busy and don't respond. Or at least I just had a client, we did an event, I haven't seen her in, I think I sold her the house 6 years ago and I just listed her house. Because she was like, oh, hey, and so like now she's like ready to list, she's like, I'm gonna come to one of your parties and see you, and then I'm gonna sell my house. So it works, you know, it's just consistency. So my team and I, we generally do, we do a pie day every November, which I've done for like over 10 years. We do, we just, a couple months ago, we did pizza pie day, where we gave out pizza pie making kits. We usually do like a brewery or something of that nature. Last year we did apple picking at Lynn Villa, which was actually also really inexpensive. We just like went and like, I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks for a bucket, and everyone got to pick a bucket of apples. So I met with everyone at the beginning. They all got to pick their apples. I just said hi to everyone, and then afterwards there's a beer garden there, and I was like, when you're done picking, if you want to hang out, we're gonna go to the beer garden and hang out and grab some drinks. I didn't pay for the drinks, and I just paid for the apples, but we all like hung out afterwards, and people bought drinks and food and like hung out. And again, like I think we had like 25 people, maybe we had 30 people, but it was only like 15, because most people came like as a couple or with their kids. So maybe I only bought like 15 of the boxes for $10. So it's not like an expensive thing, and like, you don't have to like plan anything or have, like, all you literally have to do is show up and buy boxes for them to go pick apples. So it doesn't have to be complicated, and I think that's one thing that like scares a lot of people. When you do an event, it's like they think it's gonna be super complicated and complex, but the reality is it can be really simple. Like showing up at an ice cream thing and just paying for people as they get ice cream is like the easiest thing in the world, right? You don't have to make ice cream, you don't have to do anything. I didn't put a sign up, like people knew who I was. I wore my little branded hat. And people came up, hey, you know everyone, right? They show up, hey, Ian, how are you? Good, nice to see you. Go grab an ice cream and feel free to hang out and we'll chat for a little while. You know, and some people are like, oh, I just came to the ice cream, I gotta go. All right, see you later, it was good seeing you. And so like, you know, you can make it as simple or as complex as you want it to be. So the general format, is this boring? I can like, and if you guys have questions that are here, I can, feel free to like jump in on Zoom. I don't know if there's a chat. You can ask questions in the chat. All right, cool, no questions yet. If you have questions or want to know specifics, you let me know. All right, you guys are gonna be my, if you see something pop up in the chat. So the general format in which I do it. So we plan it out about whatever, a month and a half to 2 months out. And we know the date and we know where it's gonna be. That's kind of like my basis. So you'll get better at it over time too, but you're gonna start creating your listing command, and I tag people in command, like party or like client appreciation or however you want to tag. Right, so I have an assistant to help us, but you can obviously just do it on your own. She downloads the client appreciation list that we have, and she emails it to me and to my team members. And then we go through and say who we want to invite to the party. So like, I don't invite everyone to the same party, like sometimes I only invite half of my people, sometimes I invite all my people, depends on what the event is. I mean, they don't need to know that you're doing 4 events a year. You can invite them to 1 event a year, you can invite them to 2, you can invite them to all. Ultimately, like that's up to you, right? And so, I generally like, we'll go through, we'll pick our people that we want to invite. We'll put together like in Canva, I'll like put together like an email template that looks really nice with like for apple picking, I typed in apple picking, and they have all these invites for apple picking. So I picked one, it was cool, I wrote all the stuff on it, and I emailed it out. You can email it out in, oh, I always forget the name of it. It's for like invites, for party invites. I'll think of the name of it.
Like an email blast every.
Yeah, so there's like a couple free websites that do like party invites. And so you can like basically Google it, I can't remember the names of the use. And you can email it out, it keeps the list, it's Evite. And you can, I was thinking of Eventbrite, because that's what the so it's Evite, and you can like email it out to people, it's free. You can email it to everyone, you can see who opened the email, who didn't open the email, and who RSVP'd yes or no. You can do it that way. Sometimes it's easier to just make phone calls and like do like a spreadsheet and like update it as you get email responses or phone call responses. So you can do it either way. I like eBite because you can see when people opened it who haven't responded. And so like then you can like shoot them a text. If they like opened it, you'd be like, hey, did you see my invite to the party? So you can be a little bit of a creeper. And the other thing is like sometimes the emails bounce back, so you can see that. I will say like with any like if you're using like MailChimp or anything, like a lot of times those big websites do go into spam. So I have invited clients in the past, and they've never gotten the email, so you do like, and the whole point of doing this is to talk to your clients, right? Hey, I want to invite you to, oh, you can't make it, oh, sorry to hear that, so what's new, how's the house? How are you, how's little Joey, how's this, how's whatever? So it's all about like having a conversation. The event is like the byproduct in my mind. The event is like the reason I'm calling you. But the interaction I have with you on the phone prior and the calling you and the saying hello and the checking in and the seeing how you're doing is the real like meat and potatoes for me, right? And so I would just say, you know, the whole reason is to stay in contact with people. And so I generally do a format of an email, 3 to 5 days later, a phone call. If they don't pick up, a text. A week and a half is now gone by, and then I do the same cycle again. An email, couple days, phone call, text. And then generally like the day or two before I put the RSVP date. So like, let's say I usually do the RSVP date like a week to 2 weeks before the event. The day before like the RSVP date, I'll mass text everyone who I haven't heard from, like, you know, I just like basically copy and paste the same text to every single person. And that one generally gets the most response. Just like with anything, people always wait to the deadline. So I've noticed like just doing it over the years, you'll get like some people that will like, you'll send an invite out, they'll say yes or no, like that day or the day after. Like it's really quick. And then you don't hear anything, right? So you call, and some people will pick up and some people won't. And then you text, and some people will respond and some people won't. And then like, so you're doing less and less people every time you're doing one of those rounds. And then I've also noticed, and it's definitely helped with attendance, people forget about it. Like they RSVP 3 weeks ago and they forgot to put it in their calendar, and the event is later this week. So I generally send like an email reminder of like, hey, here's where it is. I'll take like a Google map picture and say like, I'll pin a spot on the map and say, here's where we're gonna meet at the venue. This is where I'm gonna be sitting. Or like find me when you walk in, I'll be towards the front door or whatever, you know, wherever you're gonna be. And then a lot of people will say like, oh, I completely forgot, I travel. And then I also send a text like, hey, just emailed you a reminder for the event on XYZ day. Here's where we're gonna be meeting. If you need anything, let me know. And then the day of, you always get like 1 or 2 people that cancel. And you'll always get 1 or 2 people that like, oh, I forgot about it. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'll be there in 10 minutes. And it's 3 hours later.
3 hours.
Yeah, I got that one. I put it in my calendar for 1 o'clock, and it was at noon. And we're done. Oh, they were running an hour late to the 1 o'clock. So, that's kind of all I was gonna talk about in a nutshell. I can give you different ideas for parties I've done.
So as for
If
like,
you wanna hear like different ways, different parties to do, I would just say like the other thing is like do something that you like the whole point of this is to like enjoy it too. Like I do it at a brewery because I like to drink beer.
that makes sense.
If you like to drink wine, do it at a winery.
Yeah.
If you don't like to drink, do an activity.
Yeah.
Like, do something that you're gonna enjoy doing, because it makes it better for everyone, and if you like it, generally, your clients are gonna like it, like, not all my clients love beer, but they'll come to the brewery, because they're gonna hang out, they're gonna see other people, and they do have other drinks there. And I try to do events that are like different, right? So I don't like trying to do like a brewery 4 times a year. Right, I do like apple picking, I do the brewery, I do the pies for giveaway for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I did the pizza pie for like people who like to cook, right? I've done, trying to think what else I've done, gosh. I mean, you could do like, oh yeah, the ice cream social. You could do like, I mean, if you wanna like, it doesn't even have to be a party, like, I like cycling, so I'll call people and be like, hey, you wanna go for a bike ride? We're all gonna go on a bike ride in the school. Like, it doesn't have to be formal. Oh, question, if you have a client in the city and the burbs, do you do different events for each of them? That is a wonderful question. So you're never, ever gonna please everyone. I've learned that. So I live in Villanova. Most of my clients, like I moved there 2 years ago, but I was in the city prior. And so most of my events were in the city for years. And in the last 2 years, I've started doing a lot more in the suburbs. And it's kind of funny, a lot of people in the city, like when I did Lynn Villa for the apple picking, almost no one that lived in the suburbs showed up for that because they go there all the time. But all the people from the city went because they were like, oh, I never get to go apple picking, this is gonna be fun and you're gonna pay for it. So it's kind of funny, who shows up. The events I do in the city, people from the suburbs will come in. And so I try to do like, that's why I try to do like at least one in the burbs every year and at least one in the city every year. For my like Thanksgiving pie, I generally do it in the office every year, and then I do it like the week before Thanksgiving. This year I'm thinking I might do like in the office and also do like a suburb day and do it like twice. I haven't decided if I want to do it because most people like are willing to, if you're like gonna make it fun and have food and drinks and stuff, most people will do it. Yeah, but it's definitely weird because that was like one of the things that like hindered me. So when I lived in the city, I was like, oh, Wind Villa would be so much fun, because I used to go like once a year, with with my wife. But I was like, no one from the city is gonna travel out there, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, and one year I finally did it, and like, it was so funny that it was like all city people. Yeah, and like, I try to do like, so the brewery, although like kids will come with their parents, it's probably more geared towards like adults than it is towards children, because you're at a brewery, but like kids will come because they have games and stuff like that. So I try to do like something that's like more kid friendly, like the ice cream thing is like definitely like more of like kids love ice cream, they love that, or like the pizza thing, kids love that, but adults love that too. So I try to do like a mix of different ones. During the pandemic, one of my favorite ones I ever did, I actually did a Zoom beer tasting because like no one could leave their house. So I actually called a bunch of breweries, and at that time, Love City was delivering beer within Philadelphia for free because it was during the pandemic. So I called all my clients, and I think we had like 25 people on Zoom, and they sent everyone a mixed 6-pack of beer, and we all hopped on Zoom at like 5 o'clock, and the brewmaster came, and he talked about each beer, and it was like an hour long, and everyone just like was drinking beer at their house, eating whatever they wanted to at their house. And it was like so, it was actually one of the easiest ones I've ever done. I actually thought about doing it again and like me delivering the beer, because now that no one delivers beer anymore. So I was gonna deliver the beer and then do a Zoom, but then I was like, at that point, I might as well just bring everyone together. Rather than me running around town all day. Yeah, so that's kind of the format I do. And then it gets easier. The first one is hard because you're like, who do I invite? And then you're like, all right, should I invite my cousin? Should I invite my friend? Should I invite? And the answer is yes, like invite everyone. right? Like, and if, like, the more people, not like, for my pie party, for example, I invite everyone. I think last year we invited like 300 and something people and couples, together. I think last year I gave out 55 pies, 60 pies, they're $15 each, so that's like, my most expensive event of the year that I do. But like I'll give out 100 pies if everyone showed up, like the more people that show up, the happier I am. So, but again, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like, you don't have to like have a 5-star meal, like it can be literally a $3 ice cream. The other thing I do a lot of for like supplement parties is called Popeyes, which I always like to talk about when I do this. So Popeye is basically exactly what it sounds like. You're popping by with something. And so I do that. So I try to do 3 to 4 events a year where people like come to a venue or come to us. And then I try to do like another 2 to 3 Popeyes a year where I'm popping by their house or something. This time of year, sunblock is always great. And I have like a very corny like tag that I make that I print on like sticky paper and stick on the sunblock. And it says like, don't get burned by real estate, call Ian. So you can make it very corny. I like dad jokes, which are always good. Everyone appreciates a good dad joke. And then for 4th of July, like Memorial Day, as we get into like the warmer month holidays, so you could do sunblock again, or you could do like ice cream scoopers, or you could do like sunglasses. You can buy branded sunglasses that are cheap, and hand those out and put like a little saying, right? I do mustard, ketchup, and relish for 4th of July every year. I have clients that call me that are like, "You're coming with the mustard, ketchup, and relish, right?" And I'm like, "Yes," because they expect it every year now. Which is really, and it's super easy. I buy them at Costco, or you can buy them from like Walmart or BJ's, yeah. And I think they're like between $6 and $8 to $10 a thing. And I basically just buy them, I load my whole trunk with them, and then I just drive around the city and the suburbs, handing them out. It usually takes me like 2 days, so I'll do like neighborhoods, or like if I'm on the city at an appointment or a showing or whatever, and I'm in that area, afterwards I'll like block out like an hour or 2 hours to like do 20 of them or 10 of them in that area. And so like you don't have to do it like on a particular day. That's the nice thing about like Popeye. Like as you're like showing houses in a neighborhood, you can do it, right?
Oh,
You don't have to like, it doesn't have to all be like on this day. And so usually like I would say like 2 weeks before like a holiday or whatever, I do it. But if I'm doing like sunblock, I'll do that all summer. Like as I'm going through different neighborhoods that I have clients in, I'll do the sunblock, right? Or the sunglasses or whatever you want to do. And then once it's kind of funny, like you'll do the same things over and over again. So I do that. I do like king size Halloween candy. Like I buy big boxes of like Hershey bars, Snicker bars for Halloween from Costco, Nestle, yeah, all those. And I basically put them in like a 10-cent cellophane bag. You can buy them at CVS. And I just put like a don't get spooked by real estate. I have one that's like, don't be frightened by the market or whatever. If you're scared of real estate, call me, whatever you want to do.
so you get an Amazon.
Yeah, and you just get, yeah, and then you just like, so I package them and then we like hand them out. It's like that one's always a nice one too. People like always love getting candy, especially if they have kids, because their kids always get like those little mini bars and their kids are like very possessive of their candy. So you're giving them like some nice big candy bars that they can hide and enjoy themselves. So I've done that for Halloween. I've done, we've done hot cocoa, hot cocoa making kits. They're like the balls, and I forget, hot cocoa bombs, I think they're called. And you can buy like them in bulk too, and you just basically package one in a bag. And you put it in warm milk and it makes hot chocolate. So like in the winter, as it starts to get cold, I'll do that. I've seen people do, I haven't done it, but I have some friends who have done gift wrapping paper around the holidays. They'll give like a roll of, like Christmas paper or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate paper, with some bows so that you have like some stuff, because people always run out of that. So it's like a nice little thing to give people as you get towards the holidays. I've done, I did, I did like Irish car bombs one year, so I got like a little nip of Jameson. And I actually used a hot cocoa bomb. So you could do like a warm hot chocolate with a nip in it, of Jameson for St. Patty's Day. I've given flowers out for like Valentine's Day, chocolate. I mean, you can kind of do whatever like you want. Like I enjoy it, so like I just like, oh, this would be fun, and I try it. And sometimes it sucks and no one likes it, so I don't do it again. And sometimes people like it, so I do it again.
Remember you.
And but people remember you because you're always saying hello, and that's really the key to the whole thing. Any other questions from the interwebs? You guys are crushing it over there. I hope I wasn't boring. No, cool, very boring, no response. All right, cool.
You got it. You got a good job.
Anyone else, anything else? Any thoughts, any like issue you've had, have either of you ever thrown a client?
Just, actually, I'm just, passed my exam, 2 days ago, but I mean, a week ago. So-
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. So that, I was a scientist actually for 35 years,
Yeah,
and I think it's not a good track for me, and I want to switch.
yeah.
So I'm glad you share a lot of experience for your just to throw out a party as to build up our teams for more clients in there. So it's like your team just do that every year, like not maybe one time, maybe you have say like November every year, is it right?
Yeah, so the pie thing I've done every year for the last 10 years.
Wow.
The other stuff I've changed, but, yeah.
Oh.
Can you, do you have a question? I don't know.
You're the only one.
No, I felt bad. You were like, how are we doing up there? And I'm like, I am here. I am listening. No, this is really helpful. I just spent a lot of money. I was on a team and I'm a solo agent. So I spent money on my branding and I'm like, I don't want to not do events, but I'm also like, let's not break the bank if it's not there. But I think it's for realtors that are not necessarily salesy and like, I'm not salesy, like I'm here whenever you need help. I think it's a great way to have events and Popeyes because it's your way of being like, I'm here without being extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For your pie event in November, do you just have a set location like, hey, I'll be here, come get a pie if you want one?
You're looking at the room I did it in the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Right, it's right here. Yeah, I did, the office, I mean, they've always been good about letting me do it here. I just book a room, don't tell anyone. But yeah, I ask them for a room and I just do it up here. I did it in the lobby one year, maybe that was 2022, 2021. I just did it in the lobby downstairs, the office here. But yeah, I think doing it at the office is easy, but like if you want like, so the pie thing is Brian Buffini, who's where I get a lot of stuff from. He I know a lot of people who do it at their personal house. My wife would kill me if I did it at my house. But they'll have it like, there's a woman, I think she's in like Texas, she's somewhere in this, I think it's Texas. And she has like, it's become so popular for her. She has 2 people park cars for her, valet, park cars. And she has it fully catered in her house. And she gives out like hundreds of pies, like hundreds and hundreds of pies. So like you can go that big, or you can like
Have a room like this.
have a room like this. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can go to Trader Joe's and buy shrimp and some crackers and cheese and put it out with pies, right? Like that's, I mean, you can make it as simple or as expensive as you want it to be. And I feel like that's a lot of people like, I don't want to do a party, it's gonna be expensive, but like I had an ice cream party where we had like 50 people show up, it cost me $200. Like, if you get a home inspector, and a title company and a mortgage person to each throw in $50, you're paying $50 each. I mean, that's like nothing.
Right.
You know, like it doesn't have to be extraordinarily expensive. That is also like my marketing budget, right? Like I don't pay for like Zillow leads, I don't do like a lot of online, like Facebook ads or anything like that. Like the majority of my business and the way I do my business is like, I work my database so that they can provide me with referrals and come back to me and be a lead source for me. And like, I find spending, you know, my pie event probably costs me $1,000 every year. Like $1,000 spent to them who, or people that are like perpetually in my life and giving me business and who I actually like enjoy hanging out with is like not a big expense.
Right.
Relatively speaking. I mean, it's still expensive.
So then you just exchange other like marketing tools, like the online broadcasting, and instead of that, you just do some physical offline.
Yeah,
Then people in the real life, they meet each other and they talk. They get much more real, like connections.
yeah,
Sometimes you online put certain people chat, but you never know physically in life, real life, what they are, who are they, and where they live at. So I think because the business itself as a real estate is local, and most likely people need to see something because the property is actually a physical there. But even though online pictures showing something vivid imaging, but that can replace the real image and like the human interaction and all the properties that actually you are selling or you are trying to buy. So I think that's would be much more, I mean, that's different way, I would say, because
yeah,
we don't need to do some tiny marketing because majority is the trade actually local. No matter, it's very small portion for like the remote buy for trade of the land.
I think it just depends on like how you want your business to be run, and there's no, this is what so I've been selling real estate since 2004, and I started in New York. I moved here in 2011, and I will say like, there's no right or wrong way to do business. It's consistency and making it work for you and your personality. Like, I'm not a person who could like, I'm not a deal closer, like, I get online leads, I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, I can figure it out, like, I actually do know what to do, but like, and the reality is like, that's not my strong suit, right?
Like
Like,
you don't feel confident.
me hanging out in a room with people, that I have some kind of connection with, like, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's, we're friends, maybe whatever it is, maybe we both like sports.
That's what I'm
It works a lot better for me. Yeah.
Personality way to do your business, and you attract the one who like your personality, and that's would be sustaining for your business.
You got fun.
And I try to have fun.
That's the best thing about it.
Yeah, because I don't wanna, like, real estate doesn't have to be miserable.
It sure
That's the whole reason most of us got into this is, we could build our own business and have fun doing it. And, you know, not have a boss looking under us, right?
That's definitely.
So, yeah, if you have questions, if you're thinking about doing a party and you're like, Ian, I don't know what the heck to do, you can always call me, you can always message me. I'm happy to like help you with the process, and give you ideas and feedback. And every time you do it, it will get easier and better, and it'll get more efficient. Again, like, I've been doing it for years, and like, during COVID, we had to like, that was my whole business, so it was like very hard for me. Where like my whole business is meeting people in person, and you couldn't meet people in person for 2 years, whatever it was. So we did a lot of like Zoom stuff and like other interactive things. I did my pie party throughout all of COVID, out of my garage. I lived on Second and Bainbridge at the time, and we had a garage. And I set up all the pies, and I got cardboard cutouts of me. They're actually in my office. And like little signs, and it was like, I put everyone's name on their pie box, and they called me when they're outside, and because you couldn't see, right, it was like quarantine, you couldn't see people, especially in like 2020 in November, like that first year. I literally like pressed the garage door button and my garage went up, and it was like all my signs with a whole wall of pies. And my little cardboard cutouts, and so people call me and say, all right, I'm gonna open the garage door, go in. All the pies are alphabetical by your last name. Go grab a pie and take a picture with me. And so people were like taking pictures with me at like my cardboard cutout. And it was like, I was like, what else are we gonna do? Like you want a pie? It's Thanksgiving. I don't, we gotta do something, right? So we figured it out. And so like, again, like, you just kind of like roll with it, right? Like, was that a great pie event? No, but like, actually, it was probably the most people I ever had because everyone was stuck at home. So it's probably the biggest turnout I ever had, because people weren't traveling, so everyone was home. But it was also like the most like non-interactive one because then you couldn't like see people. So it was, but you make it work. So do what you want to do, have fun doing it. And if you need help and pointers, just let me know.